Yeah, hi there everybody. I want to welcome you to Ireland. We're still the most indebted nation in the Western world, and it's Thursday the 24th of September. It's in the evening, it's about 7:30, and I'd like to talk briefly about three things if I could today. The first one I want to talk about is Dr. Alan AHEARNE, who attended a big pro-Lisbon Treaty, or what its proper name should be, the federal constitution, which we've been asked to vote on Friday week. They had a big government, I think it was a government sponsored meeting yesterday in Dublin, and he was one of the guest speakers at it. And basically what he was saying was that a no vote would be detrimental to Ireland's financial future, in the sense that we wouldn't be able to borrow at the rate we're able to borrow at now on the bond markets. And the other thing that he was quoting large amounts of his colleagues about the detrimental effect that a no vote would have. But we mustn't forget that several weeks ago, these same colleagues were speaking out about the NAMA project, and saying how detrimental the NAMA project was going to be to the whole Irish well-being, the economy's well-being in Ireland. Dr. AHEARNE was one of the few people that opposed them, and he said they were all talking through their arse. So now all of a sudden they're not talking through their OBJs, but they're talking through a lot of sense now all of a sudden, because they agree with him. So look, we all know the big guns are all out. The bottom line about it is, this is of such importance to Europe that everything will be done to make sure, that this is a yes vote, and we are going to be really put in a various position. The average person in the street will not know what way to turn. The average person in the street will be basically terrified and they vote yes. So that's the situation. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is, I would like to talk about Brian COWEN, the Prime Minister. And he was at the National Ploughing Championships today, down in Athy, which is about 20 miles from where I am here in Kildare. And anyway, there were protesters there. There were no voters, no people who wanted to vote no for the Lisbon Treaty, and they heckled them. And I actually thought that it was quite a poor showing, to be honest, because in the main, these people who would be there and would have got invites to go to that ploughing championships, or would have bought their way in or whatever, they'd be all farmers or from farming background. And this Lisbon Treaty thing is one of the few things that is going to really have an impact on their lives, their children's lives, and their grandchildren's lives, and right into the future. And I would have thought that they would have made a seriously better attempt at it than what they did. I applaud them. It was okay of an attempt, but it didn't really sound, and it didn't really come across like it was. Maybe it was edited out, I don't know, but it didn't come across to me like it was a major serious attempt at making Mr. Brian COWEN aware of how the farmers of Ireland feel. Where were the loud hailers? Where were people with loud hailers and big banners? What was going on? What's all this with these little placards? What's all this? Like, if you've got a big statement to make the big statement. Get out and make the big statement. These are your colleagues that are there. These are other farmers there. They're gonna subscribe to what you think. They're not going to be. I can't see them being wanting Lisbon or wanting to support Lisbon unless they're off their rockers. But to me, as I say, it didn't come across. To me, I applaud it, but it seemed rather ineffectual. And Brian COWEN waltzed around the place like he was Lord of all he surveyed. Yeah, the final thing that I want to talk about, I can't actually believe that I'm saying this, is I want to talk about an alcoholic drink called Guinness. And today is their 250th birthday. And the reason I raise this is because this is a forum. The forum that I'm involved in within the YouTube fraternity is involved in economics and politics. You know, it's to do with those sort of things. And I think the Guinness thing is a fascinating thing because it was started by this man Arthur Guinness, as I say, down in Leixlip, which is about 20 miles from where I am here, 25 miles away, down on the Dublin-Kildare border on the River Liffey, near the Salmon Leap. And it was 250 years ago, and he started it with £100. Now, he could have went, when he got that £100, he could have went to London and started buying shares on the London Stock Exchange. That seems to be what motivates the entrepreneurship at the minute throughout the Western world. Don't seem to be concerned about building factories or making things or constructing things or getting involved in service industries. Just seem to be into gambling. I mean, at the minute what's happening, just to very quickly, in the minute what's happening is in America, the stock exchange and all the exchanges, all the commodity exchanges, they're all up, and they're in the depths of the middle of the deepest recession since the 1930s. Banks are going out of business every day, and big corporations and companies are going out of business every day, and dire consumerism has collapsed. And anyway, Arthur Guinness didn't speculate his money in that regard. He built a small factory on the edges of the River Liffey, and he started making this stout called Guinness, and 250 years later it's still going. Now, I don't want to come across like I'm an advocate for capitalist entrepreneurship, I'm not, but in terms of the social history of Ireland, Guinness does play an important role, and certainly when the social and economic history of Ireland comes to be written for certainly the 19th and the 20th century, Guinnesses will warrant more than one page. Sort of like they seem to work off a sort of a Protestant ethic thing, and the workers weren't animals. The workers sort of had a value, they had a merit, and I'm sure there's a lot of classism and a lot of things that I would hate, but aspects of it you have to applaud, like all the Guinness workers and their families with good educations. They were paid reasonably well. They lived in clean, healthy conditions. They had health clubs, a swimming pool. They had a running track, an athletics track. They got free medicine if they got ill. They got free hospital treatment. And above all, even up until today, they're out of the FTSE 500, which is the major 500 industrial companies listed on the London Stock Exchange. There's only 3 of them have their pension funds intact, and Guinness is one of them. So that's it. To me, that says something. To me, as somebody that is, capitalism is a total anathema. I find it a total anathema, because it sets men against men like beasts. I have to applaud Guinnesses. I have to stand back and applaud them, like I would applaud other capitalist companies as well, but only in the main, only a tiny number. But I have to say, as I said before, in terms of social history of Ireland and economic history of Ireland, their letters will be written large. There's no doubt about that, and all power to them. And the final thing I want to say about it is, just if anyone has never tried it, it's a wonderful drink, and I would certainly advocate it. The greatest trainer of horses in the world, Dr. Vincent O'Brien, all his horses got a bottle of Guinness every day, and if it's right up the street of £1 million classic thoroughbreds, it certainly should be up the street of anybody who wants a healthy, low alcohol content drink. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Thank you very much.